Claude brings it back and it says not this one on it as the title, I'd fire Claude. Okay.
So does anyone know? Because I don't. When you connect your Google Drive files, does it have access to the versioning history, and does it understand versioning and take into account?
Not to my knowledge.
I mean,
It is
even
very
outside of even outside of like the name that made this change is more informed, and therefore you should pay attention to it. I don't even know that it's like understands that what you're seeing has a whole history beneath it.
I think the primary action that it does when it's looking at your Google Drive is to retrieve semantically relevant files. I do believe that if you gave it instructions saying, find me the most recent, dated version that has this kind of information in it, the LLM will pay attention to those things. But I don't believe that it would just automatically do this ingestion of all the information and try to do as Brian's saying, eventually it will do a ranked validation of the recency and completion or completeness, or connect it to other sources for validation, like Gmail, for example. It's not going to do that unless you give it explicit instructions to do that right now. But I think if you had Claude with connection to Gmail and to Drive, and you said, look, there was some document that, was being collaboratively developed, and we talked about it in Gmail, and, find me the latest version of that. I think it can do that.
Okay, but that's using last modified date time, I would assume. So if I've gone in Brian's organization and I put on top of all of the ones I don't want them to use, not this one, that's now the most recent.
Well,
right.
But yeah,
no one would do that. I've never done that in my life.
If Claude brings it back and it says not this one on it as the title, I'd fire Claude. Okay. I'm hoping that Claude will be smart